What's up, y'all? I'm just sitting here. I'm just thinking. I'm just reminiscing. I had a Heineken and a couple of shots of vodka. I'm just sitting here, and where my thoughts are right now, uh, there's no escaping death. It ain't nowhere to run. It ain't nowhere to hide. Even when you go to the grocery store, right? The can, the milk, the frozen, the fish, the shrimp, everything has an expiration date. Time's up. Which just goes back to every tongue will confess and every knee will bow. Just sitting here looking it over, just sitting here breathing it over, just sitting here scoping it over. Because even though I'm a chosen one, even though I'm a favored one, I'm not exempt. If he needs me at that place, at that particular time, at that particular moment, I'm sorry. I had to leave you. He said it wasn't no time to make no phone calls. He said it wasn't time to breathe. It wasn't enough time. It wasn't enough time to plan a party. Just sitting there thinking about it. Just hoping that I done the right thing, when he called me, because he could be calling me to go two different ways. He could be calling me to go up high, and he could be calling me to go beyond low. I don't know what he calling me for, but when he called, I like to at least be going, on a level 6 or a level 5. I was in between or something. I don't know. I don't know what it takes to get up there. But then I know what it takes to get up there, but I've sinned so bad. But then he told me he cleansed me from all of that, and I am cleansed from all of that, from my past and from my wrongdoings. You know, he said that's what he sent the son for. Just sitting here trying to figure it out. There's a lot of people that I would love to give roses to while they're living now. But I don't know if they would be or feel offended because if I gave roses to them right now, then that means that they're next runner up. That means they're coming up. See, this psychic ability is dangerous. And I don't like to tour into this a lot. So, I stay out here on the outskirts and I take a look and I'll just give a story after it happened. Can get head on, can stand head on, can be spot on, but ain't trying to get on because you don't know how somebody feels. And that might not even mean that's finna go that way. I'm 99.5 or maybe 99.8 for sure of it, but I ain't for sure of it 100. Nobody's 100 if they're walking around in human flesh. So I'll tell the story after the story is done. Unless someone comes to me and say, "Hey, McCar, I know my time is up," because death don't slip up on nobody. So if we're in agreement that you know that your time is coming up, I'll issue some alive flowers because I love to pay you alive flowers while you're alive, but all the time, somebody could be getting ready to pay me some alive flowers because they might know, that after a while I ain't gonna be here no longer. Ain't nobody exempt from nothing. When I leave my job, my life is headed in so opposite of so opposite of so opposite of so opposite of a different direction. When I put my key in my door, it's time to face reality. It's time to face what you knew all along. It's time to dread, what you knew all along. Just sitting here, just looking at the cycle of life, just understanding the cycle of life, And I yelled out before, it's not fair, but my mother said, it's fair, and it's true. You might not feel like it's fair, but it's very fair because you might not be aware of the karmic debt, And now I understand her. We talked about it's hard, but it's fair. I didn't understand her when she told me that, and I felt some type of way about my mother, and I love my mother. Something had happened, and it wasn't fair. And she said, life is hard. It's very hard, but it's very fair. I never understood her. But I understand her now about life being hard, but being fair. There's certain things that you can't bear witness to. There's certain things that you don't want to believe. There's certain things that you wouldn't believe. There's certain things that you wouldn't hold a person accountable for. But the truth is, when you part ways with other people, when you say goodbye, when you say goodnight, you don't know what's going on under the moonlight. You don't know what other people are doing because a lot of times people don't want you to see them in that light. So when their number comes up, you don't understand this. When my number comes up, other people won't understand this. Karmic debt, It's not so much about you doing, but it's more about knowing right from wrong. When you done this, there was all kind of yield signs, there was all kind of stops, but you needed this at that point to get by, and I understand this. You had to do what you had to do, even if that meant somebody else losing their own life, even if that meant, a warning sign to someone else. Or when you go to calculate this, it all boils down to right or wrong. And you knew, if you are beyond 12 years old, you knew you was right or you was wrong when you was doing this. If you was 12 or under, then you weren't charged, But at the time, you needed that, and it was the right thing to do, and it was going to feed this or feed that or take care of this or that. You think I don't get it? You talking to somebody that gets it. But like Mother said, life is hard, but it is fair. You can't speak on someone else's behalf if you wasn't there. You know, what they, you roamed with them when the sun was like out. You roamed with them when the headlights were out, when it was daytime. What they did beyond you and y'all party, you can't speak on that because the lights were down, the lights were off. You see, do you see where I'm going with this now? You love to speak up and say, hey, you love to be an alibi. You love to tell a lie. But the truth is, you don't know what you lying on. You don't know what you're speaking on. You don't know the damage or the casualty or the warfare that rose up above the innocent. You have no idea. So you can't speak for that. You can't hide a fugitive or harbor a fugitive into your home. Whether you want to or not, that's against the law. Life is hard, but it's fair. It's so hard and it's so fair. I'm going to leave it there. Y'all keep praying on one another. Because like I said, everybody and everything has an expiration date. What you knew then, you wish you knew now. What you knew now, you wish you knew then. But at the time that you did it, you didn't know. But hey, you did know right from wrong. It boils down to this. And this is all that it boils down to. In the end, every tongue will confess and every knee will bow. I love you. And I hope I'm not over your head, because sometimes even the things that I say gets over my head. But it's the truth. Well as well.